I wanted to get a Zoom in before the promotion ends just to get us all excited and on the same page. And then we're going to start doing weekly Zooms, which I've said before, but I'm going to hold myself accountable and make sure that people are walking by on the street, like staring at me, like, who is she talking to?
They think you're talking to yourself?
Yeah, they're like, because they can't even see my computer. It's like sitting back in a chair. They're like, So we're going to hold ourselves accountable for team Zooms weekly, even if it's talking about nothing, because this business, I feel like it can kind of get a little lonely sometimes when you're just like, I mean, this is us. Oh, somebody's on my screen. Hold on. Yeah, so we're like this all day, and then we're like talking to our kids, and then we're like this, you know. So I think it can get a little lonely as far as
real interaction
or just support, you know. I don't know. It's just nice to keep in touch this way. And we were talking in our group about how our whole team or teams have picked up because of our more interaction like this and doing weekly Zooms. So it's definitely something that I've noticed as I don't know, it's just needed. A lot of the top leaders do that, weekly Zooms, and they also do weekly wrap parties, which I feel like is a little bit overkill until like the team has grown like super big. Because we tried that before, and it was kind of like we didn't have enough potentials to want to come weekly, and it was just overwhelming. So I don't think that's where we're at yet, but I definitely think we need to put in probably 2 of those a week. Or not 2 a week, 2 a month. 2 a week would be crazy. The one other thing I want to talk about too, because I keep feeling like, you know, we get stuck in our own heads and our own traps of thinking, you know, what's going on with my business? You know, maybe I'm not good at this anymore, or maybe I don't know. We all have harder times or slower times or whatever, but something that I remembered from my first year in this business is that they would say, oh, you know, summertime is slower, people are distracted, you know, Christmas time, holiday time, like before Christmas, November, December, it's slow because people are focused on buying for Christmas or whatever. And I remember in my first year, especially going through those times and, you know, people were saying that, oh, it's slow. And I was like, you know, I'm not slow. I'm still doing my filling out my steps to success each month, or at least close to it. Some months a little more, but I was still busy in those months. And I think it's important. I watched a Zoom. I think it was a Zoom the other day. Some of you guys might have watched it. I think it was Tiffany. It was Tiffany Harrison, and she had said something that really hit me, and it was that she said she does not teach her teams about slow times. So it hit me because I felt like I was in this trap of, oh, it's a slow time, you know. Look at all the stuff that's going on in the world. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on, negative stuff. It's a really hard time, and it is affecting everybody's business, whether we're doing, you know, selling wraps or selling real estate. People are a little distracted, but it doesn't mean that it's a slow time for you if you're working hard. So what she said in the video was that she doesn't teach that to her team. So any of you guys, like whether you have 100 teammates or you have 5 teammates or 1 teammate, whatever, you have to be careful. Like don't get that stuff into their heads, because it's hard enough for us to get it out of our heads. Once you get that mindset of, oh, that's why I'm not doing my getting my customers, or that's why I'm not getting more followers back, or whatever it is, you get that stuck in your head, and it's like a built-in excuse for you to not push harder. So about being a slow time, there is no slow time. There are people that promote in the slow months, and you look and you're like, why is that team promoting right now? Like what on earth is happening? It's just about wanting it. And the good thing about times that we might think are slower is that when others are slowing down, all that business is there for us to pick up. So I guess I just wanted to say that I want you guys to not get that slow time mentality into your head, because this is the time right now when you're building all of the business for boom time. There's no slow season, but there is a boom season. And any of you guys that have been in here through in the business January to, let's say, April, that is super, super busy time. And it's not because there's something magical. It's just because of the excitement. And any of you that watched Amanda's video earlier today, she talked all about being excited. And that's kind of the magic of boom time around conference. It's not because, you know, they're offering this specific incentive or this or that. It's because of the excitement. And that excitement is contagious. And what we need in our business is to take that feeling of conference, that feeling of, you know, wearing your stuff. I'm guilty of this too. And I'm back to wearing my stuff. Got my bracelet. I've got my new leggings, and I feel like I'm back in that conference time, that like super, super excited time. So it's all about what you're putting out there. If you're putting out that your team is on fire, if you're putting out that you're talking to 5 people or whatever it is that you're putting out there, that excitement is going to make people look at you and be like, this girl has something I want. She's you know, everyone else around me is depressed or whining or this or that, or, you know, feeding into the negative that's going on in the world. And she's excited. She's happy. I want that. I want a piece of that. So you decide what kind of a team you build. You decide what kind of a leader you're going to be. Are you going to be the leader that people don't even know, you know, your name? They don't know that you exist. You're just somebody's upline. Or are you going to be the person that people go to get inspiration from and look at their page and or message and talk to? Like, what kind of a person are you going to be? You need to be that excited leader. The leaders out there that are making it are people that are so positive, for the most part, happy, smiling, joking. They're real. They're always out there. You know, you see them posting. They're sharing their life. So your business is what you create. If you're creating slow mentality and scarcity, then that's what you're gonna get. It's getting really humid out here and dark. I'm like, the sun's going down. I'm just looking to see if anybody new came in here. Everybody's on mute. I feel like I'm alone here talking.
I'm here. I'm just trying not to let y'all hear Daniel Tiger sitting next to me.
I had a crying baby. She got a boo-boo, so I had to mute it.
Let's see. Okay, so that was basically all I really wanted to say about getting out of that mindset, because it really is about, you guys know, when you get a customer, say it's been a while, you get a customer, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like, it happened. I can do this. I remember how to do this. I can do this. And you just feel like on top of the world. At least I do. I feel like, I don't know. It's just so empowering and so excited to help somebody and share the products or whatever. But when you are in that slump of, like, maybe you haven't signed somebody for a while, it like plays mind games with you, and you start doubting yourself. And so that's what we need to get out of, because it's all about, what we're attracting. If we're putting that out there, then that's what we're going to get back. We're going to get back. Taylor, you've got your hand raised. So is that on purpose?
What's this hand raise thing? Where is this?
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it if you're on a PC because I don't see an option. Well, maybe.
I'm on my Mac and I don't see anything like that. But I do want to say something when Taylor's done.
Wait, Taylor, are you trying to talk or no?
What? No, I do want to say something, but I didn't know really what I was doing. But I was waiting till you were done saying what you were saying.
I was just rambling, so.
So I have two things. One thing is I was watching a Zoom earlier. She was a triple diamond. She has like bright red hair. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but I can't remember her name. And it was just a few tips on how to sign loyal customers. So I wanted to share about that. We all talk about the auto shipment and like being a product of the product, but she said that the reason she signed so many people, and this is so obvious and we hear it all the time, was that, you know, she was trying everything for herself and she was so excited about it. Like I know a lot of us a lot of us are all nursing moms, so we can't take a lot of the things that other people can, so we can't give all of our own results. But like now that I'm like 100% done nursing, I'm so excited to try everything. I'm in the middle. What?
I said, isn't that exciting? Like I'm almost pretty much completely done, and I'm like,
I know it like eases the pain a little bit of having to stop.
Yeah.
But I'm in the middle of the cleanse right now, so I'm like, and I weighed myself this morning and I was like 123 and I'm 119 already, and I've been 119 all day, so I'm like super excited.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then like I use the facial line every single day, but I think I want to go like 2 weeks without using anything to let my skin get bad again, so that I can take some good before pictures and like share my after pictures with every product.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Why is that bad?
I stopped and I broke out really scarily, and it like took me a month to get back. It was terrible. It was really terrible. And I'm not somebody that gets acne, but it was like I wasn't sure what was going on. And then as soon as after that month ended and all my products were back in my system, it was good. So don't do it.
Okay, that's probably some good advice because I'm getting married in like 2.5 months, so I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah, so you're cutting it close.
Yeah, no.
You didn't do it.
After the wedding.
Maybe wait till after your wedding.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Natalie?
That's what I was saying. Just wait till after the wedding.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So scratch what I just said. Another thing she said was just be super excited. She uses the voice messaging a lot, which I always said I wanted to do, but that's like out of my comfort zone. But now I'm like, my goals are too high right now to not step out of my comfort zone. So I'm gonna start doing that. And she said she talks to everybody like they're her best friend. Like just be 100% yourself and not try and like be like super duper giggly if you're not super duper giggly, you know what I mean? Just like talk how you would normally talk, which I feel like that's something I need to be careful about because I could probably come off rude over messaging. So that's probably when I should use the voice. So that was a good tip I wanted to share with you guys. And also, I know a lot of y'all are reading You Are a Badass, which is like the best book in the world. I'm going to read it forever. But I've been practicing a lot, like surrounding yourself with people who inspire you and people who are positive and not negative. And it's like, it's kind of difficult once you start to realize who is which way. Like I have a big local team and we're also like good friends, and I talk to them almost every single day, most of them. And they keep me inspired because a lot of them are on fire right now, which like gets me excited, and it's just like a big ball of excitement. And it's good. Like it's so good to surround yourself. I don't know if y'all can hear Tessa. It's so good to surround yourself with people who inspire you and people who will lift you up and motivate you. But then you also have to step back from the people who hold you back and the people who are negative. And I'm realizing a lot of it is my family that has more of a negative mindset and has a tendency to talk bad about other people. And it's kind of hard to step back from that whenever you're so close to them, because then they're like, what's wrong with you? Like today I was with them and I was just like really quiet and to myself because I was on my phone. And they were all like, are you tired? What's wrong? Like, what's going on? So it's like, it's an adjustment, but my point is that it's hard to do, but it's worth it because you're you're just at a higher frequency all the time, the less negativity you have, and that affects your business in a positive way because you don't feel weighed down by all of this stuff that's bothering you. Does that make any sense, or do I sound like a hippie?
It makes sense.
Okay, good.
I started deleting everybody that was like negative on my Facebook or Instagram, family or not. Like I had to, because it wears on you. It really does.
Yeah.
Like people that complain about everything. Like I had to. It was, and I'm sure I upset a few people, but you know, plenty have deleted me.
Yeah, but like, why does it matter? Like that was a big thing for me for a long time. Was like I just wanted to keep everybody like happy and like not have any issues with me. But now I'm just like I have too much to go for and too much that I'm trying to do for myself and my family that like I don't have time to try and keep everybody happy. Like it is what it is, and it's your problem if you are being pushed out of the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do it to themselves. That's how I feel about it. Like I really do.
Yeah. So whatever.
I noticed something that's made a lot of difference for my team the last little while, and it's like challenges regularly. Like I'll make a post and it's like a daily challenge for like things to them to do throughout the day. And it's made a huge difference, especially I noticed with opportunity posts and like their excitement and stuff about their business and like how consistent they are. Like I get text messages and Facebook messages all day about their posts and stuff, whereas that wasn't happening before. I was having to chase them down to get that. So I think that's something we should all kind of do more, even on like just like the bigger team page, like Diamond Dream Team, like take turns daily in posting something like that, like a day's worth of challenges, kind of switch through each other.
Yeah, and I think that's good. It's kind of
We can't really hear you.
You can't hear me now. All right, I'm just gonna talk. The bugs are getting really loud out here. Maybe that's it. But you know, some of us are really big self-motivators. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so some of us don't need huge motivation from outside sources. Some of us need a little more. And I think that we forget that sometimes. It depends, you know, we're all different personality types. And like for me, I've never needed somebody to give me, and it's not to like brag in any way, but you know, it's one of my stronger traits is to be able to say, hey, Natalie, you need to post this, you need to do this, you need to get this done. Some people have a harder time like figuring out the wording for something, and then that frustrates them and they don't do it or whatever. So, you know, we can't expect everybody, although like so many of us may want this just as much. Some of us need a little help in different directions. So I think that we forget that too. And it's not like working somebody's for them, but just that extra help here and there, like Jen said, you know, doing a different opportunity post to get somebody's mind thinking differently, you know, kind of retraining your brain to work this business consistently in different ways. Like Missy, a few months back, she did like a daily challenge type thing where she told us what to post about, kind of.
It was for like 5 days.
Yeah.
So, and I think that helped, and then people fell off, you know, the wagon with it because you said it consistently make it a habit. But yeah, I think that's a good idea to do something at least a couple times a week and take turns, and we can kind of give a different challenge to get everybody's brains thinking more creatively and pushing themselves more.
I like that idea. Because we're like like you said, we're just in the motion of doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
So it's good to be different. It'll make people be like, whoa.
I've seen a lot more opportunity posts from everybody lately though. Like my team and everybody else just in general. I've seen a lot of them.
I have too, and I think it, you know, it creates like a snowball effect. You know, you get excited seeing how great somebody else's post is, and you're like, hey, that was really good. Like, and it challenges you to, you know, think outside the box. I am so sweaty. I look greasy. I hope nobody takes a picture.
I was just thinking I should take a picture.
But yes, there are definitely, I've seen a big jump in motivation the last 2 weeks, consistency, creativity. And I think a lot of it has to do with staying connected on these Zooms, really, you guys. Like, we all have hard days or crappy days or excited days. But we need to be seeing what we need to be doing in order to be doing. So the more of us that are doing, the more of us that will do.
I found that when it comes to actually doing my opportunity posts, if I'm doing it at like 10 o'clock at night, it's horrible. I can't think of anything that I want to write. Like, it's just, there's nothing there. But I've started actually doing it like in the middle of the day when I just have like my most inspiration. My fire is so big. I've started just doing it in the middle of the day and airplaning it.
And I think
That's a good idea.
Like, you know,
What are
some
you
of us
doing?
are super tired. Some of us are extra tired, whatever it is. Like, sometimes you do, like, at the end of the night, I'm like, oh my God, it's that time of night. Here it goes. What the heck am I going to say?
And you can tell the difference and when you're really pumped and then when you're like, oh man, I'm so tired.
Another opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's not always like that. Some nights it's 10 o'clock at night. Actually, a lot of times it's 10 o'clock at night or 10:30 at night. And I sit down and I just have to like clear my head for a second and be like, okay, stop. Don't just write something that's just like the same thing you always write. Like, stop and think about it for a minute. And like, I don't know, you just have to be more intentional with it and feel excited and think about your why. And not just like, you know, blurt something out and then get it up just to get it out. But if it does help, like, I know for me, sometimes like halfway through the day, something hits me and I'm like, oh, that would be perfect to talk about. So if it hits you, type it up, save it in your notepad on your phone, or do an airplane mode thing with it. That's a great way to do it. Like, to do airplane mode, have your opportunity post ready to go. So if you have to go to sleep early, like, sometimes I'm asleep at 10:30 because I'm exhausted. You at least did your last step for the night. So I think that's a great tip too. Does anybody have anything that they would like to get advice on or have questions or anything? Because this is what this is for. So don't be afraid to ask anything or whatever it is, even if you're new and it's something you're not sure of. We don't care. We're all here to help and to learn.
I have a question on keeping your team motivated. Honestly, I don't understand how to do it. I know they have to want it, and you can't want it for them, and I get that. But keeping your team, I don't know. I feel like I struggle with keeping my own team motivated.
I think it's a fine line between, mosquito, overman. Like, you can't, they say you can't motivate your teammates. You can only inspire them. So in that same note, you can't just give your teammates the tools and then say, okay, bye, because that doesn't work either. For most people, bugs. Like, when a moth hits your foot and it feels like a frog, you're like, oh my God, that's really big. Ew. So as far as motivation goes, there are going to be people that you can't motivate, people that never show up on your Zoom, that never interact in your group message. And sometimes those people are still working, but they're just not engaging with their other teammates or whatever it is. As far as motivating people, I think that you can motivate people. I think that it's just not to the point where, like, you can make them work as much as you want to. You know what I mean? Motivating them, I think sometimes it comes back to our own expectations. Like, what are you expecting to happen by motivating your team? Are you expecting them to turn into you because they might not be, running as fast as you, or they might not ever run as fast as you? I think that a lot of it has to do with our own expectations. We want it for them like we want it for us, and it's encouraging when you don't see the same kind of response that you're giving out coming back from them. So all I can say is that when you find somebody that clicks more with this business and wants it even more and can set their excuses aside and not say, hey, this is why I can't do it. There's no reason why anybody can't do this. I mean, basically every single thing that we can come up with is an excuse. So when you find somebody, it only takes one person on your team. And a lot of you guys on here know that from experience, whether it's somebody under you or somebody above you, whatever. You might have 5 people and then somebody comes along and they start working. Maybe they're only working half as much as you, or maybe they are working as much as you, but that person isn't going to need to be motivated. Like, you're not going to have to scoop them up. And until you find that person, you might have to do a little extra motivating to keep people going. That'll always be the case with a lot of people, but you just have to know that it's kind of the normal process, and the people that are going to come on your team, which they will come. I know sometimes you're like, what the heck, where are these people? They will come. Those people you won't have to sit and motivate. It'll be a natural thing, and they will even motivate you on the days that you don't feel motivated. So just keep doing what you're doing. You know, staying connected is really important. You have to reach outside. A lot of us have group messages going too, so make sure you're reaching outside into like individual messages with them and touching base so that they don't have to talk in front of the group message too, because a lot of times people don't want to like spill the beans when they're in a group message too. So make sure you're reaching out individually. And you know, it's hard because I mean, I still have people that don't respond to me, or they're responding and then they stop responding, and I take it personally, and like, you know, you said you were going to start working, and
They're on that side.
you just have to like let go.
We're coming back. Come on. Okay.
Let go and not feel like you're failing somebody. You know what I mean? They're going to do what they're going to do, and as long as you're doing the basic stuff, as you know, their enroller or their their upline, then that's all you can do. And you have to just look for that next person. You don't leave anybody behind, but you're always like looking forward for that next person, and you're always focusing on being your own runner. And when you're focused on yourself, which sounds selfish, but it's not. When you're focused on your personal business and you're focused on finding more people to help, you're not going to be focusing so much on dragging people behind you to bring them up, you know? Taylor, you still have a question? Your hand's still up.
Oh, my bad. Lower hand, sorry. Yeah, you can. Natalie, what do you do, like, whenever you're pushing for a promotion really hard? What is your, like, okay, whenever people say, you know, they're up till 3 a.m. working their business, I feel like I know everything that they're doing, like everything we're supposed to be doing every day, but is there something like a secret that we don't know that we're supposed to be doing?
Like, you're talking specifically in that, like, say you're trying to promote this month. You're in promotion month, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it looks a little different for everybody, but for me, when I'm in promotion month, like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of us are like, you know, you can't sit back. I'm not saying you, Taylor. I'm just saying, when we promote, we make a decision to promote. We make a decision to say, look, this is what day of the month it is, and I want to promote by the 31st. So this is what I need to do. And you do, you know, within reach, obviously. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to promote to an ambassador when I know that I can't do that in 10 days. But I feel like it's all about mindset. If you are sitting here and you're thinking, what do I want to do this month? I want to get 2 customers and 1 distributor. Maybe you'll reach that, but you're setting it so low that you're like almost setting yourself up not to be disappointed because it's not that much to reach. So I feel like I feel like it's just mindset. I feel like the only difference is that your goal is put down in front of you and you're not giving yourself any room to back out. So for me, it's just about whatever I need. If I needed customers, say my chart was full and I didn't need any distributors, because I've had months that I needed to promote where my chart was full, I just needed volume. Then my focus was following up, tons of following up, and lots of product posts. And it was like my last promotion, I posted mostly stuff about the system because the system is a lot of volume. So that was my focus, was to be really consistent with getting my product posts out there and getting more leads in. So I think it just depends on what your promotion goal is.
Okay.
But mainly it's just about, when you're trying to promote, you've got a certain amount of days to do it. So it's about getting busy. It's no more like floating through the month. Oh, let's see what my paycheck's going to be because I kind of worked half of the time, half of the day, or I kind of just went through the motions. When you're promoting, when you're working to promote to grow your paycheck, it's like that. It's go time. That's all you do. That's all you think about. That's all you focus on. You do it when you're tired. You do it early in the morning. You double check things. You'll build relationships. You check back with people that you talked to a year ago. It's just whatever it takes, and it's like full speed ahead. So a lot of the times when people aren't promoting, it's because we're just kind of like floating along, like with that mindset of, oh, well, this month, I hope this month is better. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if it's better. We'll see what my pay goes to this month, because it's not going to increase if you're not increasing your goals, if you're not increasing your momentum and your power and your mindset. So I guess for me, it's just about, mainly it's my mindset. I decide on the first of the month, I'm going to promote, and I make sure there's no way for me to back out of it. You've been there to promote.
Yeah.
When you're like, I'm really far, I've gotten in deep with this, like, I could just stop now, just give up, but what's the point,
Yeah. I remember in March, there were so many times, like, at the end of the month where I was just like, I am done. Like, I just felt dead. And then I thought, like, that means all of this, like, messy house and all of this not showering is for nothing. So it's like, you have no choice but to keep going if you truly respect yourself.
Is there, like, a certain, like, obviously I know following and, like, all that stuff, but, like, how much of it would you say, like, you do each day? Because I never know, like,
Don't mess with that.
I feel like I'll follow a lot and I'll do a lot, and then, like, I don't know what else to do, like, just keep following and, like, just keep, like, I don't know.
A lot of us are guilty. Like, here's the thing. We need to get back into building our own business and stop getting on Facebook and scrolling and seeing what somebody's kid's doing and whatever it is. Like, we're all guilty of spending. We feel like I'm like, okay, I'm working all day. I'm working and working and working and working. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Did I really work that last bit, or was I just on Facebook wasting time and thinking I was working when I really wasn't? So, yes. I mean, following and commenting, I mean, it might seem like mindless, kind of pointless stuff some of the time, but maybe you commented and it waved a flag in front of somebody and they're like, oh, there's a person over here. I'm going to go look at their page. Maybe it seems like it's not instant gratification, so why do it? But you're building a business to build residual income for the rest of your life. It's not about instant gratification, even though we wish it was. So that comment is going to bring a distributor in for you a year from now, or a customer in 3 weeks from now, or whatever. Sometimes we get lucky and we get somebody like right off the bat. Don't you love that? But it doesn't happen as often. So yes, what we all need to do is pour back into our personal business, and you have to have a balance with your team and how much you're giving out to your team, how much you're giving to much out to your teammates and focusing on what they're not doing or what they are doing too much or whatever, you're really focusing very little on your own business and you're just kind of going through the motions. So get back into your own business. Like when I first started, I feel like I was unstoppable because I didn't have a huge team yet. So I could focus so much more on my personal business, and it was hard. It was easier to balance. So now I have to make sure that I'm giving enough back to my personal business because that is just as important. And I realized that the reason that I got to where I got was because I decided from day one that I had to do my steps to success each month. And that meant that I had to be my own runner. And I remember posting on the team pages, you know, when I did get a distributor or whatever, people were like, oh, you're like, oh, there she goes. She's posting something else. And I'm like, you have to be focused on your business. You have to be focused on just you. And then your team will start growing. Your team will start doing what they need to do. So yes, go back onto Instagram, follow, comment, interact with people. And then, you know, a lot of my day is spent just, I don't know. I do that and then I go back and I think, okay, it's time to post something. So I sit down and I think, okay, what would be a great post? What would be creative? What's something different that I haven't done before? How can I get somebody to feel something new? You just have to pour into your own business. You know, don't get stuck in a box with it of posting the same exact kind of thing every night or the same. That's something that I felt lately. I'm like, does somebody really want to see my breakfast every single morning? Like, I can't hear you, Taylor.
I know. That's what I feel about my coffee.
And it's good because it's a good thing, but I feel like I got too comfortable posting like my coffee pictures or this and that, and I'm like, I think that I'm getting less likes now, so I need to reinvent the wheel a little bit and you know, think outside the box so that we're not always posting exactly the same type of things. Even though we do have a pattern to it, we want to mix it up a little bit so that somebody's not like getting totally bored with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I posted a picture of Tessa this morning instead.
Yeah, I tried to do that this morning because normally I the problem I have is my opportunity posts, a lot of times there'll be like a quote or something with wording. So then I'm like, and then in the morning, most of the time I try to post something inspirational so that that's what people see when they get up and you know, they get that positivity from me, which is, you know, this is all about, in a weird way, it's all about getting in somebody's mind. Like, we're not just posting something in the morning that's inspirational for no reason. We're posting it because we want to be a positive light in somebody's life so that they see us in that positive way. And then they want to join us because we make them feel good. I mean, every single thing we do is for a reason in this business. It's not as thoughtless as it might seem to people on the outside when they're like, why is this girl posting all the time? It's all marketing. We're marketing ourselves. We're branding ourselves. So back to that thing about words and stuff. You know, I do my opportunity posts. Sometimes it's a picture of my kids or whatever, which makes it easier, but a lot of them are words. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to post in the morning an inspirational quote. And so I've got two like word things side by side on Instagram. I don't like the way that looks. I feel like it looks really boring. So
I agree.
I don't like words like side by side on my Instagram. So, you know, it's just about being creative. Instead of posting a quote this morning, you know, you mix it up. Maybe you post something that's funny instead in the morning, you know, whatever it is. Maybe not post your breakfast one morning and post your lunch instead. Just, you don't want to get too repetitive with stuff because people are just going to be like, oh, there's her stupid oatmeal again.
You guys have a preference of like long versus short? Because I feel like I just write so much. Like everything I write is always long, and like I don't know if that's bad. I need to I can't write short stuff. I have so much to say.
You know, I've been thinking the same thing lately too. I think it is good to sometimes just shut up I don't mean that mean, but like I have to tell myself that too. I'm like, shut up, stop posting. Sometimes people just want to see a picture of your kid without something about the opportunity or about anything to do with the business. Sometimes they just want to see a picture, and don't do it a lot, but you can throw that in. Like just go back to being you guys remember what it was like to not be an It Works person and to just post something because it had nothing to do with the business. Make sure you do that too, because it will help people relate to you on that level. As she isn't just a business owner, and she isn't just working towards her freedom and doing this and that. She is just a person, a mom, somebody that is just like me. So make sure that sometimes you keep it like challenge yourself to write something that's really good in like one sentence, and just let it and be okay with writing one sentence or two sentences, and then those long ones are good too. It's a good mix.
Something that I've been also thinking that way, like I feel like all my posts are really long, but like, do people actually click see more? You know what I mean? I wish there was an option to see like how many people actually click that button. That'd be great.
Right.
But so that was my problem, is like, I feel bad making everything so long because nobody wants to read all the time. Am I interrupting somebody?
No.
Okay. But then Missy also was saying, like, if you post something and there's no like real meaning to it, then don't post it. Like, don't post anything that's pointless. So I've been trying to do like my short posts be interactive posts. Like I want to buy this. Which one do you like, or whatever. I can't even think of like one right now, but I feel like I've done a few interactive posts lately. Some of them are like, it's about food, and it's like, what's your favorite snack or something. So like, it's still meaningful because you're building relationships, but it's not like a freaking novel that you have to read to get to the end of it.
And those interactive posts are really important. I realized last night, I was talking to John, I was like, I used to do, like, I feel like I am doing the same things I always did, but then when I sit down and I dissect what I'm really doing, like, there are things that I'm missing out on that I used to do, and I used to do a lot more interactive stuff like that. Like, I remember in the beginning, not even in the beginning, I guess it was, well, like 6 months into it-ish, but I just remember it was right after we moved into this house. I remember one example was like, it was a picture, I did a picture of what I was drinking that night, and it was just post what's in your cup. I guess you guys have probably seen this on Instagram, but it was like, stop and drop a picture of what's in your cup too, and then tag me in it. And I used to do a lot of stuff like that has nothing to do with anything business. It has nothing to do with anything at all, but just fun. People like fun. They like to feel special, that you want to interact with them. They want you to, we want them to tag them and stuff. I remember doing a lot more stuff like that. And I feel like it makes people feel like you're not just there to be selling something to them, So make sure that you get back to doing that and be thoughtful about your followers. It's not just about what we want out of our followers. We want to build real relationships. I mean, I've signed distributors that said in their bio, no wraps or no It Works or whatever, and I signed them up as distributors, but it was after we became friends, and they trusted me as a person, and it wasn't about the business. So try to stay in that mindset of, when you're on Instagram, it's not about business, it's just about getting people to connect with you. And once they connect with you, they'll be like, what is she? Maybe this is the rap girl that isn't annoying, that has more to offer. This is the rap girl that I feel like I could be friends with and buy from her,
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of, like, I really, really like training, like watching training videos in my downtime. And I never really watched recorded Zooms from other people because it looked like really busy and chaotic. But I've been watching them and I love them. I'm like really sorry about the bad angle. I'm looking at myself now. But I don't even know what my point of this was. Oh, people are talking, like, I've seen so many leaders talk about how they never mention the business. Like, I feel like I still have some people come to me saying, like, if somebody likes my post, should I go ahead and message them? But I feel like that's such a huge no-no now, since cold messaging got really big, like, a few months ago. But I always say, you know, if you notice somebody liking your post, write them down and keep a list of people who are interacting with you, and you interact with them like double time.
You know what? That's exactly what I used to do. I'm guilty of not paying attention to that now. Like, I'm dropping my pictures and then not paying attention to who is liking my pictures. And thank you for bringing that up, because I think it's a huge part of Instagram business flourishing, because those people are taking the time to like our pictures and to engage with us. And that's what I used to do. I remember when it was new and fresh and exciting, and like my phone was going off all the time with likes and likes and likes. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I would go back in and I would click on that person that liked it, and I would go like their pictures right away, their fresh pictures or whatever. And then I would go to the next person that liked it and I would like their pictures, or comment or whatever. So make sure that you're not just like forgetting about people once you drop your picture. Like, they need that love back, or they're not gonna stay connected with you. So I think that is a great point too.
One more thing, like I said, I'm like really into training videos and stuff right now. I'm sure all of y'all have watched Carrie Bauer before. If not, I highly recommend it, especially if you have like a bold attitude. She's very straightforward. She said she got this from somebody else, but your income will never surpass your self-development. So it's so important to be pouring into yourself and watching videos and reading books. So like if anybody has read a self-development book or any sort of business book that they like, maybe we could all share it in the team page. I know GoPro has had a lot of really good reviews or like feedback, so I want to read that really bad. But I have like a list of like 10 books that I need to read, and I don't understand how people have so much time to read. Like, somebody said that leaders read like 2 books in a week, which I get it because they're like leaders and they have more time in distance than we do. But I would love to be able to do that, but I feel like I barely have enough time to read a chapter or 2 every day.
Well, and I don't mean to like make anybody not read, but I will be the first to tell you I am not a reader. I wish I was a reader, but I really don't read books. I love watching videos and listening.
Yes.
But I just have never been a big reader. And so if reading works for you, do it, of course. And read whatever you can get your hands on. If you're not, then you don't have to be a reader. You can watch videos. There are so many things that you can do too to inspire yourself, and you can still stay put.
Also listen to like the audio tapes of books too.
Yes, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the car.
And it seems like these things are silly, but really it is so important. It's so important to get on our corporate calls Sunday and Monday too, because it's easy to like fall off the road of like super excitement. You need to hear stuff. You need to hear like excitement coming from the business, excitement coming from your teammates. It's just really important. In that mindset of you can do this. I think that is a huge part of succeeding, is believing that you can do this. I made it to triple diamond when I thought I wasn't even going to be able to like get my first customer. And anytime that I felt like I was freaking out, like bouncing around the yard or something, anytime I felt down, that's what I had to do, because I didn't really have an upline that was going to like drag me along. There was never anybody like saying, hey, Natalie, what are you doing with your business? What's going on? Are you going to post your stuff? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? I was like, and even still, I feel like it's kind of on me to, well, it's on John too. Cause I'm like, John, can you like push me along? I feel a little not motivated right now. But it's on me. I have to be the one that's going to make this work. I have to be the one that's going to start growing a team. And until I grow a team stronger, it's going to have to be me that's saying, hey, you need to post in the morning. Hey, you need to, be excited. And you need those things out in front of you, like your goals. We talk about this all the time, like put your goal on a piece of paper, put it out in front of you. Why are we wearing, maybe you don't have an It Works shirt, wear green, whatever it is. Like if you're not feeling like this is real, then it's not going to be real.
Don't give yourself the option to give up. I know a lot of people are like, I'm going to give this a shot for a month or like 2 months. But I came into this with like, there was one time, I remember specifically what everybody was doing and where I was sitting, where I was like, is this really what I want to do? Like, is this something I can actually commit to? That was the only time I ever thought about that. I have never given myself the option to give up.
I think that is a huge thing when people are like, okay, I'm going to try this. What do you mean you're going to try this? All right, so you're basically saying, I'm going to see if I'm going to not give up. Like, well, if you just don't give up, if you say, I don't care how bad it is, if I have a bad week or, oh my gosh, there are like bugs dropping all around me. If there's no option, a lot of the people that have succeeded really, really high in this business are people, and it's not coincidence, they're people that had no other option. For me, this was my only option. I felt like it was my only option. It was my last resort. It was like, Natalie, you're either going to do this and you're going to make a paycheck, or your child is going to grow up struggling. You're not going to have a place to live. You're going to feel like a failure your whole life, and you're going to have this sick feeling in your stomach every single day for the rest of your life because you can't afford to live. You can't afford to live. So what are you going to do? Like, you have this amazing opportunity. You have no idea exactly how you're going to make it work. Are you just going to say, I'll try? Like, I cannot look at Lorelai in the eyes and be like, I'm sorry, I tried, I give up. Nope, not going to happen. I'm not going to. It doesn't matter if my volume drops. It doesn't matter if I feel like a failure one day. It doesn't matter if I'm exhausted. I'm not going to say, sorry, you weren't worth it. It's just not going to happen. So trying is not, it's not an option. You don't fail until you give up. It doesn't matter how hard you are on yourself. You're not failing until you give up.
Natalie, you're bringing tears to my eyes right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But my point was that if you look at, a lot of the top leaders, the reason like Stephanie and Joel, they were standing in food bank lines, or, you know what I mean?
Churches.
Yes, church. I mean, this was their last, they saw it and they're like, this is what's going to save us. Jade talks about that too, about what she, what her reason, I mean, there's so many people. Here I am in front of you guys. This is, I cannot express to you how bad our life was. A lot of you, maybe you're newer, or, I haven't even shared a lot of things, but I didn't even share that we were on food stamps for like the first year of our business because I was kind of embarrassed, I did this because it was my last resort, and I needed it. I needed this to work. And when I started seeing it work, like I remember when our paycheck hit $300, I felt like I felt amazing. I was like, I still remember sitting on the couch. Like, I remember what the temperature in the room was. I remember everything about it. My commission check at $300. I was like, and I think it was like at $210 the last month. And that seemed like a lot. And so when it hit $300, I was like, John, do you see what's happening? Like, it's not just this BS world of like, oh yeah, if you keep going, your paycheck's going to go up and it's going to go up. Maybe it was only $100 more. $300 a month is not an income per se. It's extra income. But for me, I saw it working. I was like, there's no way I'm going to give up. I'm making my paycheck. I have the power to grow my paycheck every single month, and it's going to keep going up if I keep going. And I think that was my biggest like aha moment when I realized that I was the only one. I had power to grow a paycheck from scratch, to sit at home and grow a paycheck, or to sit wherever and grow a paycheck, and to be my own boss, and to just, I mean, I can keep doing this and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep slapping myself in the face and like keep it, you know, I can keep going and I can grow my paycheck as high as I want to. And there's going to be a month where I don't sign anybody, or a week when I don't sign anybody, or whatever. There's going to be that time, but if I just keep going, it's going to keep going. I mean, that's the reason you can't give up. You just can't. It works if you keep going. I don't even know how I got to that point, so I'm really sweaty out here. Tired.
I'm actually going to get off because I have somebody who wants me to bring them a wrap, so I'm going to go get $25.
Awesome. I always feel like to me, when I do that, it always feels like I'm doing something illegal. I'm like, like meet me in the Starbucks parking lot, and you know, like, it's weird. I always feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Natalie.
But it's always such a high feeling. Well, maybe.
I know, I agree. Like, what am I going to do with this? I need to invest it. Okay, well, I will see y'all later.
Right, does anything have anything they want to add or talk about? No. Well, I'm just glad everybody's on here because, you know, I have 500 people under me, and you can see by plugging in and by doing what you need to do and by not giving up, you know, the people that are not pushing as hard as you are the people that may not make it. And you guys are here pushing hard because you want this, and you know, maybe you still are like, I don't really understand exactly how this is going to help me by just sitting here on a Zoom instead of following up or whatever, but it's just a piece of the puzzle to get where you want to go. So you have to do those things. So I'm just glad you guys are on here. You keep going.
But the good thing is that you can't use following as an excuse, because that's what I'm sitting here doing.
See?
So
yeah. And so thanks for joining me and letting me ramble and look sweaty too. So, I don't know. That's all I got.
Thanks, Natalie.
All right. Well, we will. I think I'm going to schedule them for Mondays because it seems like a good day to start the week. Amanda and I were talking about that to get like a boost to start our weeks with. So I'm going to try to hold myself accountable. If I don't, then somebody can post on the team page and say, hello, where's our Zoom detail information? So
I'll put it in my calendar and I'll bug you about it.
yeah. So we'll do that for Mondays, and so there'll be one in a few more days. So I have to get something put down, notes or something.
What if you did a post on the team page and asked people what they wanted to talk about?
I've done that, but I feel like nobody really ever chimes in because they don't really know either. So
I feel like I'm just the crazy person that just messages you all the time and is like, so what's this?
We'll try it. I can post that and see if anyone puts any topics up. I think the thing is, you know, with me, I'm always afraid to be repetitive with what I'm talking about. But the thing about this business is it's kind of about repetition too. So I feel like we can never really hear things too many times anyway. So go do your opportunity post if you haven't done it, and make sure you put some feeling in it and just be real with people and keep going. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.